Hey guys, this is Pharaoh 2091, and welcome back to Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Last time we left off, we were pretty much doing a lot of forensic analysis regarding footprints, and it was actually kind of fun. So we found out a lot of kind of cool stuff, and well, some stuff is kind of interesting. So we got to do some little bit more investigating. And speaking of that, remember how we were asking Emma, like, how do you know Phoenix and all that, and you know. Do you know, like, she thought we knew what happened 7 years ago about why he was stripped of his badge, and she told us to investigate. Well, you know what? I think I will do just that. So we're going to go ahead and visit Phoenix at the clinic. I believe you gotta go through here, and there we go. So yeah, I mean, we'll check up on him, but we just want to know what the hell happened. Ah, the prodigal attorney returns. Welcome, Apollo. I heard you did well in the trial today. Here to discuss something? I could use a little diversion. What did Detective Disguise say? If you want to know something, you have to investigate it yourself. Mr. Wright, tell me what happened 7 years ago. Please. I want to know. I need to know. You certainly didn't waste any time getting to the point. No, we don't, because we want to know why the hell aren't you the greatest detective anymore, or greatest attorney anymore. I mean, it just doesn't seem right. I mean, all those years and just all those cases you could have done. What happened? 7 years ago, I was standing in a courtroom on behalf of a client. The case involved the death of a certain magnificent genius. I'd be surprised if you haven't heard about it. It was all over the news, I remember that. You were up against Prosecutor Gavin, weren't you? Yeah, he was only 17 years old at that time. 17 years old? That's still high school! We thought freaking Miles Edgeworth was a prodigy when he got in there when he was like 21 or 22 or something. He took the bar exam abroad, in Europe. They're progressive over there, you know. I was defeated by a 17-year-old newcomer. In my shame, I left the practice forever. That's all. That's all? How could that be all? What do you mean? What about what they were saying on the news about forged evidence? They say you forged evidence and had your attorney's badge stripped from you. Really? Tell me, how does it feel? How does it feel to stand up here before Phoenix Wright, the forging attorney himself? How does it feel? I don't want to believe it's true. But what about what happened in my first trial? Yeah, remember? That card wasn't supposed to be there, and it was forged, and he even said it was. But it's like Phoenix didn't even care because it's like, well, I'm not an attorney anymore. What does it even matter? I don't see you jumping to my defense on this one. Maybe I did forge evidence. Maybe I didn't. It doesn't really matter now, does it? But I'm not an attorney anymore. That's the only truth you need to know. Mr. Wright. Looks like he doesn't want to talk about the accusations of forgery. For now. For now. So, well, that's that. So, okay, enough of that. Let's visit the Maractus Clinic because, if you remember, Emma gave us the orders to, like, say, tell the guard, you know, hey, buddy, I can actually, they're connected now, let me in. Ah, you two again. When, oh, when will you learn? Look at me however you want, you're not getting in today. I wouldn't be so sure if I were you. Look what we have. What's this? Detective Sky! Yesterday was Prosecutor Gavin, today it's Detective Sky. Who are you two? Really? Now he's suspicious again. Well, you got the orders, so I gotta let you in. Have fun. Thanks, Mr. Officer. Let's hit it, Apollo. Let's hit it indeed. Alright, let's, Nope. So this is the first time we're in the clinic. And sure enough, I can see in the bottom right, there's a bunch of shoes right there, those patient shoes. But there's also other pairs of shoes right there as well. And something on the bottom right in front of us as well. There's a lot of clues right here, guys. Huh, kind of an at-home sort of place, isn't it? This place has a connection to the murder in the park. I'm sure of it. The police guy out front wasn't so sure. Beyond it being where the victim lived, looks like the police team's gone home for the day. There might be some clues lying around. Let's get cracking, Apollo. So, okay. First thing first. I see, like, these sandals on the ground. There's a single pair of sandals here. Wait, but why would there be sandals here? Unless they belong to one of the patients. Or maybe it's a visitor, or maybe it's a visitor that's come to see Dr. Maractus. You think they use his house entrance instead of the clinic entrance in that case. And if this patient or visitor isn't still here, why'd they leave without their shoes? Better take a closer look at these just in case. Okay, so we got those sandals, and well, as you see right here, there's a bunch of bowls. Are these the same bowls from Mr. Aldoon's noodles? Look at all these bowls. They're from Aldoon's noodles. There's Mr. Salty. Then I think we figured something out. I think we have. Mr. Aldoon must do takeout. Not exactly what I was thinking. All the bowls have been washed clean. I think we found our first clue, Trucy. Not really our first clue, but, you know, hey, whatever. And, slippers. You can see one is actually missing. This must be the slippers for the patients at the clinic. Same as a pair we found, of course. Look, a single pair is missing from the rack here, too. And ours have paint on the bottoms, which means they were taken out of here on the night of the murder. Right. The paint's from a hit and run, after all. But what were a pair of clinic slippers doing in that trash can? And what were they doing at the scene of the hit and run? Yeah, this doesn't really make sense. What else is there? There's a door. Ooh, ah, damn it. That's what happens when you mess around with some settings. There's a door here. Maybe I can open it? Look! This door says doctor's office! Think this is the victim's private office? It's not locked. Not too bad. Why too bad? I like opening locks. It's kind of a hobby of mine. Like those little bike locks? Don't even bother putting them on when I'm around. That's probably not a hobby you want to tell too many people about. Thump? Apollo! That sound! It came from behind this door! Someone's in there. Let's check it out, Trucy. A break-in! They left through that window. Wait, Apollo! You're too late to catch them now! Oh, that must be her experience as a pain chaser talking. Well, we should tell police. Let's check the room out first, Apollo. If we call the police now, we'll lose our chance. You're right. She's better at this than I am. Well, one thing's for certain. This clinic and our murder case are looking pretty related now. Definitely. Well, here's a weird thing right off the bat. You see, like, all this stuff is on the ground, but then this lamp is, like, carefully on the ground. What the hell's that all about? Kind of an expensive-looking lamp, isn't it? Hey, the bulb's broken. Broken? Don't you mean burned out? No, our cab lurker must have dropped it. But why is it standing up on the floor like that, then? Hey, look at the cord! Huh? There's a red splotch on the part of the cord. You think that's blood? It's a little bright for blood, almost pinkish. Something's definitely odd about this lamp, that's for sure. Okay, so we'll keep that in mind. And also, if you look here, there's a safe. I'm sure maybe that's what the burglar was after. What a cute little safe! Looks like a 4-digit lock. Someone's already entered the 2 numbers, Apollo. 7, 9... Wait, do you think that burglar's son was trying to open it? I wonder what's inside the safe. Is there any way you can figure out the last 2 numbers? Well, we know the first 2 are 7 and 9. Maybe there's something in the court record? Something that can help us figure out the last 2 numbers? Huh, I wonder. And you know what? I think we got just the thing. Well, I have an idea. I knew it, Apollo! What is it? Well, all we have to know is what the buttons have been pressed. We can use this to find out what the next two numbers are, and that will be the fingerprint powder. When you press the buttons, you have to touch them with your finger, right? Now, see, what happens if someone had gloves or somebody, I don't know, like touched it with something else besides their finger? Maybe it wouldn't leave a print. It would leave a print! When you open a safe, you don't press any other numbers but the right ones, right? Unless you don't know what the numbers are. So we can find the buttons with fingerprints. We'll have the safe code. Not bad, Apollo. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're just going to sprinkle a little bit here. It's automatically doing this now because I already enabled the mic. So there we go. So you can see the numbers are pressed for 2, 5, 7, and 9. Look, you can see the oily finger residues clearly. Look at 7 and 9. These are glove marks. The burglar must have been wearing them. Well, we might not be able to identify the burglar, but we can open the safe. Let's give it a shot. So, okay, these are glove marks, but we know that 2 and 5 are the other numbers. So let's try 2 and 5. Anything? Oh, okay, so it must be the other way around. Easy as that. So that'll be 7, 9, 5, 2. If it doesn't work, I don't know what the hell it could be, but it's easy enough. See? Boom. Alrighty, what the hell's in here? It opened! Okay, examine this folder and all this paper. This looks like a medical chart. There's an x-ray in here with it. An x-ray. Can't make heads or tails of it. And I can't read the chart either. It's all in medical speak. But the names are easy enough to read. Look, by patient it says Wakikataki. So this is Waki, or client's chart, huh? Why would this one chart be here in the safe? Let's see. The physician's signature says Paul Maractus. Eh? What is it, Apollo? Well, look here where it says who filed the chart. Let's see. Nurse Alita. Alita is Waki's fiance. That's one Ida too many, Apollo. Oh, God. Apollo. Yeah, okay. Never mind that. What's her name doing here? How should I know? Though, I guess it seems she's on staff at this clinic. Odd that she neglected to mention this before now. I'm sure she had her reasons. So Alita worked at a Maractus clinic, and she had access to Waki Kataki's medical charts. You got the I and Y wrong, Apollo. God. Wow, okay. I'd be very interested to find out what these charts says. Who can help us decipher this? I think we got one person who may be able to help us out. Also, look at this. Is that what I think it is? This looks like a bullet hole. You can still see a bullet sticking out of it. Why is it in the middle of a safe? Hey, the bullet came out. The tip is all squished. Not surprising given that it was fired into a metal safe. This bullet's got a story behind it, that's for sure. Alright, so we got a hefty amount of evidence here. So, I think that's all we're gonna need for now. So let's head back out. I think that's all we can actually do here, so... Mr. Aldoon's not here. Because I was gonna have an idea of, having him, you know, go through that chart, because he was a surgeon before, so maybe he could help us out. Or maybe we can take anyone at the clinic. Maybe they'll figure it out, but I'm not sure how they're gonna like it when strangers come up to them. I'm like, hey, we have this person's medical chart. Could you read it for us? So, yeah. So, you know what? What we're gonna be doing next is actually going back to People Park and talking with Emma, because it seems like we have enough information to actually go ahead and make some prints or some conclusions here. I know that face. That's the face of someone who's made a discovery. Hey, how did you know? You can't fool someone trained in the ways of science. And next she'll have us analyzing face prints. Let's ask this guy to help us out, Apollo. Well, okay, we'll do that next time. Before I head out, I just want to look at how much evidence we got. We got a good chunk of evidence here. For our second case, it seems like we got almost 2 full things. So how many rows? We got 4 full rows and almost a 5th row. So I mean that's a good amount of evidence for a second case in the game. At least I think so, anyway. Can't remember how much evidence was in the other games. Whatever. But yeah, next time we'll go ahead and look more into this evidence and try making some comparisons and see what the hell's going on. So, as usual, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. I'll see you guys later.